Sabbath day, bring the book out, let the room get still. Ain't no hiding in opinions when the verses get real. Cats will grab one line, but a whole lie off it. Till you read a little further and the whole thing fall quick. I need chapter with the verse, I need precept with the proof. Not that loud, empty talk when a man ain't got the truth. Sons of thunder in the class, and we standing on the text. Line for line, bar for bar, let the scriptures do the rest. Bar for bar, line for line. Read it plain, don't twist nothing, let the verses align. Sons of thunder. When the lessons start hitting, whole room lock in. When the breakdown different, bar for bar, line for line. Every cut from the word, every truth gon' shine. Sabbath day, yeah, we came for the smoke. When the script open up, every lie get broke. Seen a lot of dudes talk like they really got sight. To the next verse hitting, now they spirit not right. Cause the truth ain't something you can bend how you please. That a humbler man, bring him straight to his knees. From the Lord of Christ, yeah, the message stay tight. Same God, same fire, same standard, same light. So don't come with your sauce, try to season what's clear. When the Most High spoke, he already made it appear. Bar for bar, line for line. Read it plain, don't twist nothing, let the verses align. Sons of thunder. When the lessons start hitting, whole room lock in. When the breakdown different, bar for bar, line for line. Every cut from the word, every truth gon' shine. Sabbath day, yeah, we came for the smoke. The script open up, every lie get broke. It's that class where your pride get dragged by the chapter, where the fake deep die and the truth come after, where the quiet cuts harder than the man yelling loud, where the words stand tall and bring the ego back down. Ain't no shame in the cut if it's making you better. Ain't no love in the lie just to keep it together. Better broken by truth than the dying delusion. Better check by the word than the living confusion. Hey, read that again. Nah. Slower this round, don't skip that part, bring the full thing out. Cause one thing about truth, it don't need your spin. When the verses link up, that's when class. So it's bar for bar, till the whole thing clear. Till the young get built, and the old ones here. Till the brother with doubt get strength in his chest. Till the one moving proud get stripped by the text. Sons of thunder, yeah, the lesson got weight. Not a game, not a show, this is how we get straight. Sabbath day, and we staying in the script. Line for line to the whole room shift. Bar for bar, line for line, stay in the book. And the truth gon' shine. Sabbath day, class in session. Let the word bring correction.
Shalom. Open your Bible. Not feelings. Not tradition. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Bar for bar.
You quoting opinions, I'm quoting the word. Isaiah 28, did you read what you heard? Precept upon precept, line upon line. If it ain't in the book, then it ain't divine. 2 Timothy say, rightly divide. So why you twisting scriptures to fit your pride? We ain't here to argue emotional fame. We here for the covenant law in the name. Deuteronomy 28 still apply. Tell me who fit the curses, don't lie. Scattered abroad, but we waking up now. Nation of kings, we remembering how. Not church, all the Torah precision. Give me the verse, not your television. If it not written, I'm cutting it off. Revelation 22, don't have to take off. Bar for bar, bring your scripture out. If it ain't in the word, what you talking about? Bar for bar, chapter and verse. Truth don't bend and it don't rehearse. Bar for bar. Lord, my heart, we don't neglect.
Bar for bar, Sabbath flame.
All praise to Yah in his holy name. Lord, my heart, we don't neglect.
Bar for bar, Sabbath flame.
All praise to Yah in his holy name. You say the Lord done passed away. Matthew 5, what did he say? Not one jot nor tittle fall till heaven and earth that covers it all. You screaming grace but ignoring commands. James 2 tell you faith need hands. We ain't saved by works alone, but faith without works is a lifeless tone. Peter said judgment first in the house, so we correcting the nation now. Iron sharpening iron with heat. Proverbs 27 make it complete. We not debating for cloud of views. We here for the sheep that's needing the truth. Ezekiel 3, blood on your head if I don't want you what y'all said.
Bring the scripture. Chapter.
If it's true, it stands. If it's not, it falls.
for bar. Open the scroll, 250 when it pierced the soul. Stand and contend, 2-1-3, fight to the end. Open the scroll, 250 when it pierced the soul. Stand and contend, 2-1-3, fight to the end.
Hey, shalom, shalom, family. Yahabashim Yashab, Baraka Thumb. Shah Shabbat, everybody that's tuned in to another episode of the Bar4Bar. You see the title, Anthony versus Metcalf, re-examining. All right. As everyone can see, last night or yesterday, Friday, right, a lot of the footage from the track meet was released out to the public. It was pretty much already out. You just had to go and get it, basically. From what I'm hearing, but it's been basically released out to the public. We're gonna examine this video from some Jake's point of view, and then we're gonna get into some details of the case. Understanding, kind of who Carmela was, who Austin was. Is the evidence from the video footage, does it make a difference now? How it played into the case. Should this be a mistrial? If the shoe was on the other foot, if it was a 135-pound Caucasian male up against a 235-pound black male, and the Caucasian male unalived the 235-pound black man because he was in fear and self-defense, would the case have gone the same way? And that's really the real question we have. That's the true question, right? If the shoe was on the other foot and everything else stayed the same, he was a bully and all that kind of stuff. Would the Caucasian man get 35 years and 17 years till he can see parole? Would he have gotten that? What do y'all think in the chat before we start? In the chat, just we don't re-answer this. We don't ask this question again, but just in the chat. Just in the chat. If the shoe was on the other foot, do you think this case would go the same way?
Of course not.
I think everyone believes, hell no. I think even white people believe that. That there would be no way in the world that if we were talking about a Caucasian man unaliving a so-called black man at a track meet, and how good his character was, and how good of a person he was, and how he was an athlete, and he was just trying to escape the rain and sit with his friend, and a black male, masculine, strong, with his twin brother came up bullying him, and he pushed him, and the young, frail, white Caucasian male was, they're not gonna say male, they're gonna say child, feared for his life. And in that moment, he was surrounded and he didn't know what to do. So he grabbed the only thing that he had, which was a knife, and he unalived the black male. Would we be having would the case have turned out the same? Impossible. Impossible. And we all know this. We all know this. That's why we have to re-examine the evidence, because this case is full of crap.
Yeah.
Be honest. This case is full of crap. No black jurors. Very quick trial. His attorneys, where are they? There, I don't see them speaking out much. The civil rights leaders, I know his family was going back and forth for choosing whether to go with black attorneys, white, whatever the case was. It's a lot that went on when you start going down the rabbit hole A lot of stuff just doesn't make sense.
Con.
But what we do know, because history never fails us, and history always repeats itself, is that this probably wasn't an initial racial thing. However, the case became racial.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know. Austin, he might have didn't like Metcalf or Anthony because he was black. You never know. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that Carmelo unalived him because he was white, nah, I don't.
Right.
I think this young man, from my point of view, was most likely fearful and under self-defense made a decision that he can't take back. And I guarantee if you would probably talk to me, say, no, I probably wouldn't have handled that way. Understanding the consequences now. You know. So, you know, it's unfortunate when we was talking about it as brothers, and you think about it, you know, all I could say, man, is 35 years. I want you to take your age right now and add 35.
Yeah.
How old will you be? I'm going to be in my 60s, close to 70s. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of time.
He's 19. He can't get a retrial till he's what? 36 or a parole. 36.
Yeah.
When he's gone out the window. Then add another 20 years on top of that. Most of this man's life will be lived out for adult life.
Hey, Salakia,
Go ahead.
how long has it been since this trial? How many days? Does anybody know on the panel? My point is, oh, go ahead, Adam. Salakia.
Was it last week?
Last week, okay. Point.
Week and a half?
In a week that he's been inside, he's already been changed forever. As soon as he gets booked, he's gonna have to pick a side. They're gonna, put him in a certain congregation of brothers, more than likely. I doubt he'll be in protective custody, but he's already changed probably in this short amount of time, being a week. He'll never be Carmelo Anthony again. Before, he'll never be the same, Add 17 years from now onto that occasion and see where he'll be, man. The damage is going to be done before this brother's able to see light again as far as walking, on the street. His way of life is going to change. I hope he is able to do something with the time in there, but he's going to be changed, man. He won't be the same.
Yeah. Brother, even if they come right now and exonerate him, his life is going to be changed. Because one thing, man, brother, real quick, let's give me First Maccabees 3:48. One of Esau's greatest weapons is what Adon Yaakov was just talking about. Imagery, the power of imagery, and which is why they spent so much time in destroying this man's character or cultivating a narrative as if he was just some hardened criminal who had a propensity to just stab people. Wow, Austin Metcalf is just some wholesome kid who just got caught up in a wrong place at the wrong time situation. When the opposite is true, right? But because Esau has to justify his wickedness or his oppression or his decisions and get everyone to go against you, that's why he uses imagery. Go ahead, give me that.
It's the book of First.
Go ahead, Captain.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So you see, this is during the time of the Maccabees when the Greeks took over, right? One of the first things they did is said, "Listen, let's change the book of the law. Let's put our images in there, so that way we could frame this story from the lens of us being the special people, of us being the victims, right?" And if you just look at how he moves, didn't he hire the Arabs against you, right? Matter of fact, get where's that? Yeah, it's in first. Yeah, get First Maccabees chapter 5 and 39.
Count out of one.
Start at 38.
This the book of This the book of First Maccabees chapter 5 verse 38. So Judas sent men to Espy the host, who brought him word saying, all the heathen that be around about us are assembled unto them, even a very great host.
Yep. And
he have also hired the Arabians to help them, and they have pitched their tents beyond the brook, ready to come and fight against thee. Upon this, Judas went to meet them.
So you see, Esau was hiring the Arabians. In order to do that, he's got to spin a narrative. He's got to say, everyone get on the same page as it pertains to these people. I need you. Because look, if we allow them to rise, then guess what? They're going to take over. So you and I got to come together. We got to lie. We got to say whatever we need to justify how we treat these people. Right? And we see this happening. Last one, 2 Maccabees 3 and 18.
Salakia. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 3, starting at verse 18. Others ran flocking out of their houses at the general supplication.
No, I said 3, Salakia. I meant 13 and 18, Baba Kasha.
13 and starting at
18.
Kanadawan. It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 13, starting at verse 18. Now, when the king had taken a taste of the manliness of the Jews, he went about to take the holds by policy.
Guess what? They've been doing this. They've been creating policies and rules against us and coordinating with other nations to do that through imagery. And so this, we weep for this brother and for this family, because this is another one like the other one, right? Especially in the time when they're talking about black fatigue and, just kind of down on us and our image in society. Don't find yourself getting caught up in that, because what he's trying to do is change the hearts and minds of the masses and make it seem okay, which is why we got to advocate for our people. We got to speak up for our people. We got to hold each other accountable. But at the same time, we got to make sure that we are portraying righteous images, so that way we can counteract what he's trying to do. Now you.
So the scripture said, let's get Zechariah 11 and 5 real quick and put it on the screen. Let's put this on the screen. Bring it out.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Yep.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
That's the point, man. Whose possessors slay them, and they do what? Hold themselves not guilty. Ever. The general made such a great point when that dude came up to class yesterday. He said to the camp, on the camp video yesterday, he said that black people are the number one unalivers of black people. That is such a delusional statement. They've been killing us for 400 years. We aren't even probably close to that yet. They're in the millions of what they've done to us. But they might say, well, now present time it is. But that's for any nation. Caucasians are the number one unalivers of Caucasians. Right? Exactly. Asians are the number one unalivers of Asians. That's how it's going to be. Because that's who you're with.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you're around. So our people get so delusional and caught up on these talking points that they even sound like the oppressor themselves. And that's what you're going to hear from this guy's video when we play it. You're going to hear this. Why? But first, before we do that, I just want to read a little bit. Because Fox News has a report, right? So let's start with this. Can you read that if you could see that? There we go. Can y'all see that? Hold on. There we go. Here we go. What about now?
It says Carmelo Anthony runs away after murdering Austin Metcalf. Surveillance video.
Do you understand what this title is intended to do?
Mm-hmm.
See, he intentionally unalived him, stabbed him to death, and then he was so unmerciful, this Negro, and ran away. No, he's 17. He was fearing for his life. He did not know what to do. Fight or flight kicked in. He ran away. And then you're gonna watch in the video, he stops. And he's like, he probably like, oh, what did I just do? There's no intent there, man. Let's keep going. We'll let the words. We'll see what it says. Go ahead, read this.
New videos and photos released Friday show the moments leading up to and after Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf to death with a knife during a confrontation at a Texas high school track meet.
That sounds, you know what that sounds like to me? That Carmelo stood over him and repeatedly gutted him.
Yeah, they want you to get the worst image in your mind of this as being a cold-blooded killer and then running away after.
That's what I hear. Not there was a confrontation in high school. A pushing and shoving happened. Carmelo said, yo, don't touch me. You grabbed me my book bag anyway. And then I defended myself. Now, don't say that. This paints Carmelo already as evil and sinister. Let's keep going.
The videos were made public Friday by Collin County Court following Anthony's first-degree murder conviction earlier this month. One piece of surveillance showed Anthony fleeing the tent where he stabbed Metcalf, running through the stands onto the track in Frisco, Texas on April 2nd, 2025.
See, they can't say after Anthony defended himself, he ran away. They can't say that because then what goes into your mind? What did Metcalf do for him to defend himself? See?
Mm-hmm.
No, but if you say he stabbed him and then ran away, he intentionally did that.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer a victim. Right?
Just look at the way they portray him right there in the picture.
Yeah. Smiling.
Like the brother already had a mugshot.
Yeah.
They have the worst picture that they can find of this brother. And then they got Austin Metcalf portrayed like he's Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell or something. I mean, it's crazy.
Yep.
Let's just take a look. There's no audio here.
I found a place.
You don't want to find no place. That's an interesting movie though. If y'all haven't watched it.
This one? What is this?
I forget what it's called.
I think it's called Backroom, I believe.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Stop showing that though. There we go.
Is the location of the emergency?
This is the phone call.
Hi, we're at Kuykendall Stadium. My friend just got stabbed.
Okay, do you know who stabbed him?
We have no clue. He was sitting in our tent, but you need to send an ambulance right now.
They're on the way, okay?
So, first thing, they don't know each other. Number one, my friend just got stabbed. Do you know who did it? No, we don't know this guy. He was sitting under our tent, though. They don't know each other. Go ahead.
I don't. Salakia. There were so many people under the tent, though, Adawan. It's some that may have known them, or may have known at least that Austin knew Carmelo from maybe another incident or a previous incident. It's so many witnesses under that tent, man.
Yeah,
so many.
I agree.
The Kingdom brother did know him. That's why Carmelo went, because he's like, oh, that's the homie over there. And he just probably trying to get from under the rain. So he sees somebody he knows, he's thinking it's all right.
Because think about it. We're gonna play another video, right? Where someone says that Carmelo was already sitting under the tent for a little while before Austin came up, is allegedly what the sister said. So why didn't no one else feel the need to throw him out of this tent? If he's just so sinister and causing such an uproar. But let's continue to play the audio.
Give me a description of the person that stabbed him.
He was wearing a gray Essentials hoodie. He was black. He's standing out on the track right now.
He's standing on the track?
Yeah.
Okay.
His blue sweatpants on and John.
Okay, what did he stab your friend with?
I don't know. My friend's bleeding everywhere.
Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
The chest.
Okay. And do you still see the person that stabbed him, or did he leave?
It was Austin. Austin got stabbed in the chest. I'm sorry, what did you say?
The person that stabbed him, is he still there? Do you still see him?
There's adults on him, I think. Yeah.
There's adults that are trying with him?
Yes, he's with people down.
Okay. Do you know if he still has the weapon on him?
No clue, but he's like he can't do nothing. He's done.
What do you mean?
He stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. What?
What do you mean he can't do anything? What's going on with him?
Coaches have him, he can't hurt anyone.
Okay, when you say they have him, are they physically holding him down?
No, they're just holding him walking around.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What's your name?
Here's the question. Did this young man testify? Where's his testimony? We need to hear this. What happened? All you said was Austin got some black man unalived Austin, stabbed Austin. What happened though? Why didn't you tell what happened? What transpired? Did he just do it for no reason? How do you know the guy? What happened?
What's your last name? Is there yet?
We hear the sirens, but the coaches sent us out.
All right, so there's nothing more to that, right? So this video, we're gonna play this a little bit later, but this video is kind of describes what they said happened. As far as it happened under this tent, this yellow tent, and then he fled and went this way. All right, we'll watch that later. Right, let's read this out.
God, I don't want. Another surveillance video shows Anthony walking by the track tents before the stabbing. And a third shows him being taken into custody on the track soon after.
Mm-hmm.
Among the other images released were a blood-soaked jacket and the folding Ozark Trail multi-tool knife prosecutors said was used to fatally stab Metcalf, as well as the bleachers at David Kukendall Stadium in Frisco on April 2nd. The newly released trial exhibits from the murder case, including crime scene photos, images of the knife prosecutors said was used in the stabbing, 911 calls, and police body cam footage shown to jurors.
Mm-hmm. Why does it stop? There's more than this. Hold on. Okay. So then here's the image. What did you just read? Right. So basically, that's the image. All right. It's a pocket knife.
Mm-hmm. Can you scroll back up for a second, Edwin? Go back up. Right. Go back down. Right there. It says, no, that's not the, where it said it was an Ozark Trail utility knife.
Yeah.
That's not a utility knife.
At all. That's a pocket knife.
Yes. That don't have no blood on the blade. It's blood on the back, not on the blade.
It looked like this is. We said this earlier, family. Let me move this out of the way because we want to try to get flagged. Anytime there's a conflict with black and white people, the footage is terrible, like it's taken in the 1900s. It makes absolutely no sense that you can't distinguish blood in that image. What kind of cameras do they have? But to me, it looks like there is a little bit on there. Right.
I mean, we know
that's for somebody to be stabbed in the chest. That's a sprinkle.
It probably didn't start really bleeding until it took it out. You know, go in and then when you take it out, then that's when.
Yeah, internal bleeding is the problem with your heart.
Mm-hmm.
But they said an Ozark Trail multi-tool knife. That's what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just look these up.
Shoot.
Something like a pocket knife.
Nice work.
A pocket knife. So this is what this, when I looked it up. So kind of Ozark Trail stainless steel knife. Right here. Just your traditional pocket knife. Right?
Let me see if I can post this.
Read this.
The body cam video captures the moments after Anthony was taken into custody following the fatal stabbing of Metcalf at a high school track meet. In the footage, Anthony is heard telling officers, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me." The video shows an officer check Anthony's pockets, then ask him his name, school, and grade as he puts him into the police vehicle.
So this where it gets tricky, right? And you know, this is where I would say he shouldn't have did this. He should have said nothing. You have the right to be silent. He shouldn't have said anything, because then they use this. When you look at it, they use this against him. I told him not to put his hands on me, and I did it. They tried to paint him to be evil, like you intentionally did that because you told him not to touch you. Mm-hmm. So your intent was to murder him. See how they did that?
Mm-hmm.
I never said what I was gonna do. I just said don't touch me.
Yeah, Salakia. And even that's why the judge said, this can be manslaughter. He told the jury, he said, yeah, you can do murder or it can be manslaughter. One of the major differences there is one is intentional, one is unintentional. But even that is crap, because if Carmelo said, hey, dude, don't touch me, he gave a verbal warning, which indicated that he was in fear. He was in defense mode, and he wanted a clear boundary, right? And if the dude goes on and then continues to touch him, we could talk about the use of force afterward, because I've seen a bunch of people say, well, so is that what we do now? We stab people that push us, we stab people that do, etc. Well, pretty sure you just advocated for the release of this police who shot this man or this woman or this et cetera, because he feared for his life. And this person didn't even touch him. Like, did you see how Sandra Massey got shot and killed for holding a pot of water, and got shot in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not excessive force?
Yeah, the list goes on. So obviously you understand the threat of someone putting their hand on you after you've given a verbal command and they continue to persist. You understand that then. But when the shoe is on the other foot, you don't. And it sounds like the dude Austin Metcalf was a bully.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like he took it upon himself to get Carmelo out. Be Captain America, I guess, if you will. Be the hero, or be the bouncer, or be anything outside of what he should have been. And that is just another patron at the track event.
Yeah.
So, Salakia,
go ahead.
I want to make a quick point. If we have anybody that's in the chat that's from Texas, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm looking at the no duty to retreat law in Texas. It's chapter 9 of the Texas Penal Code -31 and -32. I'm gonna just summarize it, and you all tell me if this sounds like it's justified on behalf of the brother Carmelo Anthony. So it says, no duty to retreat, Salakia. It says, Texas law provides that a person who has a legal right to be where they are, I think he had the legal right to be where he was at because he was invited by a mutual friend, correct? Isn't that correct? He was invited by somebody that both of them know, both parties knew.
I do believe the Northern Kingdom.
Okay, allegedly. Okay, Khan, I don't want allegedly. That's number one. Number two, it says, did not provoke the confrontation. Did Carmelo Anthony allegedly place hands on Austin Metcalf's first?
No, he didn't go around saying, I'm going to sit here regardless. Austin came to him and said he didn't want him here.
Khan Adawan. That's number two. Number three, it says, is not engaged in criminal activity. And then it goes on to say, generally, there is no duty to retreat before using justified force. This is often referred to as Texas stand your ground principle. Now, when it goes into using justifiable force in 9-32, it says all the parameters of 9-31 have to be met, and then it becomes justified. He didn't have to leave, and he was justified in defending himself. It's from what I'm seeing in the Texas Penal Code. I yield that on.
Let's keep going.
And then also, I think it's important to take note of the fact that they did not really do any character witnesses during the trial, right? But that's important because if Austin has a reputation for being a bully, if he has that reputation, and granted, him and Carmelo may not have known each other personally. However, word travels fast. We all been in high school. And if you know that this dude has that reputation and he starts to engage you, and if I say, dude, back up, maybe you are in fear because he has that reputation for beating kids up. And you don't want to be just another one on his list. You don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
So I think it's telling that they didn't. I mean, what trial don't you look get a character witness or go or look into the character profile of the people involved.
Let's see what else. Let's read this.
Comment one. There's a lot of blood. He's not breathing, the caller said, adding that he didn't know at the time who stabbed him, but he said that his students will know. The operator then takes him through the process of stopping the bleeding. Later, the caller says that he could see the subject being taken into custody not far from where Metcalf lay.
Exactly. Right. So then this is the point of I'm guessing this is the
I found a place.
That's the body cam footage, I would say here. Right. So everything is intended to make the eyes of the people look at Carmelo Anthony as evil and sinister. That's the point. That is the entire point.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is treating the victim, they need to be over there. Under a memorial tent. Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me.
Well, he already has them in custody.
Dispatch 443. I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? Oh, look here. 4-4, copy. I'll be in route. Y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Go over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay?
You can hear him say something. Somebody said something. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all catch that?
He said something.
Somebody, I don't know if it was him. Somebody said something. Watch.
He said he put his hands on me. That's what he said.
What he said. I couldn't hear the second part, but he said he put his hands on me. And it sounded like he said I told him not to.
4-4, copy. I'll be in route.
I know something. He said he put his hands on me. I know something.
Y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Go over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay?
Did y'all see what's on the back of his shirt?
Fear of God. Oh, precious.
Look at that, man.
Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect. Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. There's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there.
That feeling right there to be in handcuffs is the worst feeling in the world. That feeling right there is the worst feeling in the world. That's not a good feeling, man.
This is the alleged suspect.
All right, so we'll keep going. I want y'all to watch that on your own, but you can see, they got him in the custody, right? And we'll get past this. There's a point I want here. Okay, let's read this here.
Anthony used the blade to stab Metcalf after the teen and his brother confronted him while sitting in their team's tent at Memorial High School. Prosecutor said. Anthony, who was 17 at the time, admitted he stabbed Metcalf, but claimed he acted in self-defense.
Right. So he basically told him, "Don't touch me. You touched me anyway," and then I reacted. I responded.
During Anthony's trial, prosecutor Bill Worski noted that the 3.5-inch long weapon used by Anthony was not particularly a quality knife, but it ultimately proved lethal when he pulled it from his backpack during the confrontation. Anthony was sentenced this month to 35 years in prison for the stabbing. which ignited a wave of criticism from his supporters over the makeup of the jury. Anthony will be eligible for parole after serving half his sentence.
So when they said the jury, none of the jurors were black. They were Caucasian, Asian, and they said some Hispanics. That was what I got. Mostly Caucasian. So now you up against the odds. You lose here. It's going to be impossible. That's going to be impossible, right? To win this case as a so-called black man. You know, when you walk in and you look, yeah, you did. Oh, come on. Like maybe not him in his youth. I'm not sure how he was raised, but us, we would walk into that and say,
hey, but part of that is our fault, because it is our culture to be like, don't go to jury duty, tell them you don't like police. We do everything we can to get out of jury duty, period.
Yep.
And then turn around and then complain about not having people that look like us, that understand us as our jurors.
Exactly.
I would want a me.
Mm-hmm.
You would want a you to be able to explain and understand and help deliberate and advocate for the truth through your lens, not just be biased towards you because you're black, but at least be able to give a context to maybe your thought process or your decision making in whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's something that we got to change for ourselves. Until we're ready to go up and be jurors, we can't complain about not having black jurors.
That's right. That's a great point.
Hey, I'm trying to get out of there right now. See? I might gotta go. Because it could be a jail.
I'm telling you,
unfairly tried.
Yeah,
that could be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because Esau going and they're sending our children, they're putting them under the jail.
Esau excited to go. He can't wait to have his hand in ruining the life of one of us. He excited to go. He don't miss.
Yeah. Now let's get into a video that was kind of they talked about the video, what happened. All right. It's kind of low, but I think y'all should be able to hear it. Brothers on the panel, y'all let me know. So this is Rodney, whoever Rodney is. All
right, let's review the Carmelo Anthony.
All right, so he goes into the description of the case. He points out individuals, right? Metcalf, so on and so forth. Right.
All right, let's review the Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation.
So can y'all hear that?
It's a little low, I don't know.
It's low. It's a little low. So he's saying this is Austin Metcalf right here walking into the school, and then his brother is going to follow shortly after.
On just yet, and then shortly after, you're going to see
a big boy.
The other Metcalf walking behind him. They're like wearing the same thing, but walking. You don't see Carmelo Anthony come to the other entrance. When we cut this camera right here, you can see Carmelo Anthony kind of walk in. He's going to cut to his right. Our right, his left. You can see him in the gray sweater, backpack over his arm. You know, it's raining, probably looking. I mean, at the end of the day, this whole.
So they're saying this is Carmelo Anthony here. It's raining. You know, it don't like it's pouring down because ain't nobody rushing nowhere. So it's raining though, obviously.
So could you turn the volume up?
No, it's low. I think his thing is low. Like that's the highest it'll go. Like my computer's turned all the way up. So I'm telling you what he's saying. That's why I'm stopping. So he said right here that the Metcalf brothers, they walked in through a different entrance than Carmelo. But this, they're saying, is Carmelo with the book bag on his back. Now it's crazy because the image that y'all gonna see, there is no follow of the image as far as this video we have here, where they show Carmelo walking all the way and then sitting down, who he dapped up, who he hugged, who he said what's up to, to say who he sat with, why he sat under their quote unquote tent. right? Because it doesn't like he's trying to escape the rain. He could have went to this tent. So what I'm thinking is he had to know somebody in that tent from that school. That's the only thing we could say.
It was a Northern Kingdom dude. I want to say Salas, or his last name is something like that.
Yeah, we got to find that. Brothers in the back can find that.
Entire situation's tragic. You know, kid made a dumb decision, a really bad decision, right?
And then Rodney goes on to say that the entire decision is the entire case is tragic, and Carmelo Anthony made a really dumb decision, right? Because obviously he's never been in fear of his life. He's never been bullied by two Caucasian boys that are 230 some pounds and standing over me and about to probably aggressively and about to put their hands on me while I'm sitting down just under a tent, unbothered, not bothering nobody. So you're basically bullying me in that moment. I'm just chilling. Hold on, bro. I'm just sitting here with him, bro. What you talking about? Like, I don't know what he did in that moment, but it doesn't seem like he was the aggressor. Like, no one's saying that he was ever the aggressor here. And that's what we can say factually. They've never made, in this situation, Carmelo to be the aggressor until it happened. So that's how you know it's flawed. Right, but let's keep going.
So we cut to this shot because that other shot kind of goes off camera. As you can see, he goes to his left. And we cut to this shot.
Well, this is the tent where it all transpired.
I guess they had like a gap in coverage. Now, obviously, we want to pay attention to this area. I'm going to zoom in here in a second. I tried to make it as viewer-friendly as possible. So stick with me here. There it is right there, yep. So you can see there was a person in a poncho. So it was raining. And you can see the rain on the other camera too. And this is the kind of key I look for.
I don't know what kind of camera this is here. This got to be one of the worst I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you barely distinguish what colors people have on. Like he's saying this one has a white shirt. I don't know if that's gray, navy, black. I can see probably that's a black book bag. This is something blue. But what I definitely can't see is Carmelo Anthony here.
At all.
I don't know which one of these individuals, because they're saying he's in here, is Carmelo Anthony. And number two, that's a lot of witnesses.
Yeah.
Just the shadows, the shades I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't really count it. It's a lot of witnesses. And then others walking up.
Because when he comes in the frame, whoever this guy is in the white shirt, this is when stuff starts happening back there. Now, it's hard to tell what's going on. We're going to see a little commotion, right? Maybe some pushing, shoving. But when this guy with the white shirt walks away, that's when like shit really goes down. I don't know if he knew something. Maybe it was escalating. But see some movement back there.
All right, push.
Maybe someone sitting down right here.
No, it didn't happen yet. It's in here. Like, I don't know what's happening here, but they're saying it's in this area where my mouse is. Either they talking to him, like it seems like his hand is out. This video to me is inconclusive. I can't determine nothing from this.
Hold on, Slocky. Is this Austin standing right by the pole?
I think so. This is
because right now your hand is extended towards me, and if I'm on the other side of that hand, now you're in my space.
And I think that I don't know if Austin is sitting. I mean, Carmelo is sitting down or standing up. I can't tell. Obviously, they would have probably approached him sitting down, but in no videos that I watched show that when he got up. So let's just look, or if he's already standing up.
Tragic. I saw somebody maybe got pushed right there. We can stop that right there. Go back a little bit. See someone got pushed right there. I don't know who, but it looks like someone, sharp move. Maybe somebody got pushed. Probably some commotion going on, right? Let's look at it again. Yeah, there it goes again. And then this is when stuff is about to really go down. We're going to wait for this guy in the white shirt to leave, and that's when you're going to see Like,
Well, y'all pay attention right here. So it's happening like now.
push.
So someone gets pushed there. They're saying that was probably Carmelo, but it's hard for me to say because in the other videos he had on white,
right?
And he's gonna pop out soon.
Right there, boom,
And then they're saying in that chaos was the stabbing. It is very hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
I went back some. We're gonna watch it in full.
Push. Right there, boom, and then stab. It's got to be it, right?
And then Carmelo comes out here. I don't know where he was at.
Go back down. He looked like he probably sitting
down.
He hit him and then kept going. Wow.
So it looks like they probably were over him. Yeah. Because he pops out as if he was either on the ground or sitting down on a lower spot.
Right there, boom, and then stab.
And then you see how it get blurry again? Y'all understand? Like, it's madness they got going on with this video too.
So Salakia, just to comment on the video. So if you look at the video clearly at the beginning of the video, this has to be two different cameras.
Yeah.
So one shows the entrance at one end of the field. This is at the total opposite end of the field. So what this guy is doing, he's zooming his screen into that's why it's so blurry.
Yeah.
The camera does not zoom in on this thing.
Yeah.
He's zooming it in from his whatever screen or laptop he's doing, and that's why it's so distorted.
Yeah, so pixelated, which makes sense.
Yeah. But I'm saying all of that, this is Texas on a football field. You get the Max Preps videos clear as hell. You telling me that it's not somebody with a clear camera?
Well, or even 2026, there's nobody recording this. It's about to go down. They yelling. Ain't nobody pull out their phone and record. Soon as somebody start yelling, people start recording. Let's just keep watching this. And he comes out here, and this is the account where he says he ran.
Before he takes off. Right. Push.
So he said that he replayed it. He went back.
Boom. Hard to tell, right? But you can see.
It looked like he probably sitting down here.
I'll explain it right now. Push. Boom. That's probably the stab right there because you see he moves up, right? So you see after the incident,
and he comes out of here.
He stabs him. Now there's a lot of people out there. I don't listen to brain dead people like that think it's okay to push to stab a guy, even if it's once because they push you. It's stupid.
All right, now he's an idiot. He says he doesn't listen to brain dead idiots that say it's okay to push someone and then stab them. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Tamir Rice, was it okay for them to roll up on him? He had a pop gun and spray him down without asking no questions. Was that okay? Was it okay to kneel on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes? That was okay. That was proper force there. So even our own people, which he probably, I don't know what he is, right? Let's just say he a Jake, because Jake is off the wall coon sometimes, a lot of the times. Even he don't even got sympathy for it. Because why are you putting your hands on me? What about that aspect? Yeah. He's gonna later on say he should have caught the fade. No, you don't tell me how to react, bro. He don't touch me. You have no reason to touch me. I didn't touch nobody. If you want me to leave, bro, I'll leave, bro. It's not that deep. But don't put your hands on me.
Because the moment
we're in America, you're never going to get a fair chance. They would have liked it better if they would have beat the brakes off of Carmelo. That would have been better for it.
They would have called the school pride. They just would have called, oh, just, boys tussling. You know how they are at this age. But the moment, what people are not considering is the fact that if he gave this dude a warning to leave, the onus is on him to leave him alone. If Austin felt so threatened or frustrated with his presence there, he could have gotten a staff member. He could have coach. He couldn't have got any of those people who wrangled Carmelo after the stabbing.
Yep.
If that was a problem.
Yeah.
Right. And there's precedent here because even in some of the more stricter states, when it comes to self-defense, like for instance in California, if you put like a rubber bullet in the chamber, or you put a blank in the chamber and then have another bullet right after that, if you shoot the rubber bullet or you shoot the blank, that serves as a warning shot. If they continue to pursue and then you shoot them, now you justify it because I warned them and they still continue, right? So that's just one example. There's a ton of precedent for this. How many times have we seen police say, hey, you know what, let me see your hands, back up, stay right there, etc. Whatever the case, give some type of command. And if the person doesn't explicitly comply with that thing, then they use force, and it's justifiable. But I guess it just doesn't apply here, because that's why we say you speak wickedly concerning oppression, right? And the Lord is not going to let this thing off, right? Because now we all speculating. But let's get real quick. Let's get Psalms 9 and 12, right? Because we all speculating and we trying to figure out how and why and the details of this murder.
You count out of one.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 12. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble.
The Lord is not going to forget the cry of the humble. He is not going to forget those that have done wickedly to the apple of his eye. He's not going to forget those that have oppressed us, right? So as he's making an inquisition for blood and getting to the bottom of this, you're not getting off scot-free. Esau, people, etc. Now the brother gonna go do his time. He's gonna have to deal with that because at the end of the day, he killed a man. All right. But what have you done? You know, I don't think Austin is innocent in this either. You know, I think they learned a good lesson of, you know, maybe you shouldn't bully people or take it upon yourself to be the hero. Just they say that now, like you can't. The most you can do is do a citizen's arrest, but you can't take it upon yourself to be judge, jury, and executioner as a citizen. There, right? So the same rules should have applied to Austin. He should not have taken it upon himself to try to extract him. That's why there's security there. That's why there are adults there to supervise.
But what about Aharon Philando Castile? Like, hey, get your wallet. Okay, you just fired me. You just destroyed me. Yeah. Was that not? Why didn't you tase me?
Right. So that dude could fear for his life then and then be okay, but
we can't.
Your brother can't fear for his.
That's the game. That's how it goes here.
The life hanging in the balance.
That's right.
Crazy, like they're rolling through Compton or something. It's at a high school track.
He says he got a knife in his backpack, like he's rolling through Compton, like it's some game. Hold on, you don't know why he got a knife,
right? It's a utility knife. He was being safe, and it's for tools.
Crazy.
You
You're
know,
rolling through Compton.
I've heard, now this is allegedly, I heard some people say they use that to sharpen their track spikes. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how true that is, but if that's a reason of why he had it, his intent was not to go there and stab nobody.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's for you. It's that he specifically got a utility knife. You used utility knives for a bunch of things, all types of things.
So to give the credit as if he has a knife to go stab someone, it's not the case. Just like you have a concealed weapon, your intention is not to, when you walk in the house, somebody go just shoot somebody today. Doesn't make sense.
There was plenty of room for him to escape. If he felt bullied, if he felt like he was getting punked or whatever, first you throw hands. You know, that's the first option. You don't stab somebody, or you just get away. They're kids. Live to fight another day, right? It's not a big deal. A lot of people got bullied, you know, but it's not a time for.
And a lot of bullies died for being bullies.
Yes. And a lot of kids who got bullied grow up and become policemen, and then have that same fear and kill people who even get close to them.
And it's so crazy how you don't know how Carmelo Anthony feels inside if he's bullied at school and he broke and couldn't take it no more. There will never be sympathy for you, black man, woman, and child, Latino man, woman, and child, Native American alike. There will never be sympathy for you. Your emotions don't matter. Suck it up. That's how we're treated here.
You use deadly force out there. Anyways,
use deadly force like he was gonna strike his heart. He probably just swung. He wasn't intentionally. I know I'm gonna get him in the heart. Turn and try to hit his aortic artery. No, bro, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
You can see him up here, obviously freaking out. You know, starts to dip away. And this whole...
Because they said right here, they started chasing him.
This whole breakdown
he fell.
Is crazy because you're going to see him running right here, right?
They said they was chasing him too.
Dipping. Which, look, if they're at a track meet, run away. You know, that's the first thing you should have did. Or just walk away. Talk to a teacher or something, you know? You can see people are kind of trailing him a little bit. Like, hey, that's him kind of deal. You know, I don't know what he's doing right now. Looks like he's jogging, trying to get away.
He probably so in shock. He probably don't even know, what did I just do? Oh, you want to do that? I didn't want to do that.
You're going to see right here.
He don't even know what to do. He's running, jogging, walking.
So maybe he's just like thinking like, oh man, what did I do? It's chaos right here. Everyone's freaking out, right? Obviously, people are trying not to let him go. And at one point, you're going to see, I think he meets with some teachers right here or something. Somebody kind of grabs him like over the shoulder and like kind of guides him back. And you're going to see some interesting things right here coming up. Like one of the teachers like throws something on the ground, like he has a meltdown. You see him walking back. It's obviously chaos. People are dipping in the background. I do have some of this on times 2 in some parts. There he is by himself again. I'm sure that teacher's trying to calm people down. He's pacing back and forth. It's a tragic situation for both kids.
I mean, it's not like he's trying to leave at that point.
Yeah,
he's
freaking out right there. You could tell he's like crying. You know, obviously sorry for what he did, but that's not the way to respond to a situation. It would have happened to somebody else. You know, I get it. You're sad that you hurt somebody like that, but your first reaction can't be stab. You know.
Come on, bro. Like, I just can't. Because you don't have that same judgment for no other case. If this was a Caucasian boy being bullied by a black, big, strong football player male, they would have never said this.
Mm-hmm.
They probably would have said he got what he deserved. And then they would have said the same thing you said, Aharon. Why didn't he go to teachers? They probably would have convicted his brother. I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
They would have convicted his twin brother for probably some kind of assault.
Intimidation.
Put him on probation or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because he went over there bullying him. If the shoe was on the other foot.
Fight.
Sickening.
Just walk away.
Yeah.
Looks like a teacher trying to console.
Reminds me of Jason, man, the traitor.
So sad. And this teacher kind of joins a little consolation party. A little zoom out right here because you're going to see someone like try to like this guy. Somebody's trying to attack him, I think. Like this guy. Yep. Like talking shit probably. Or is that a teacher? Might be a teacher.
You don't even know what's talking.
Someone tries to. Oh, right here. Check this right here. I think I back up right here. Yeah, back up right here.
Oh, they try to. Probably his brother.
Right here, or they're stopping somebody right here from doing something. You can see everybody ran over there. And I think right here is when you're going to see like one of these teachers melt down. Like, what did you do, or something like that. And watch him just like he's obviously Carmelo Anthony's freaking out. I think he throws like a walkie-talkie or something. So he gets down, he's freaking out. Watch him. Oh, that's his hat. Watch him just slam his head on the ground. Just bam. You can see it bounce right there. Back that up a little bit again. Bam, just throws it. Man, so sad. They kind of walk off to the right.
That's the video.
Something in the car. I don't know what they're loading in.
All right, there's a lot of other videos. Different angles, longer videos. But there's most of them have no commentary. I want to play this video as well. One of this with the sister.
I'm an advocate for hello everybody. I'm
There
an
he
advocate for Carmelo Anthony. My name is T, and when I went to see the video, they ask if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Carmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent. And then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one, he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Carmelo Anthony. And like T said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Carmelo in the midst of them assaulting him. You can see Carmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Carmelo. He comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie.
See, now we didn't see all of that.
Yeah.
We didn't see all of this. What we need that. I was been looking for that
footage.
Because she's like zoomed in. That's why we know it's more than what is being revealed to us. We're not stupid here.
Goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Carmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie.
He's saying that because I'm thinking that's what the brother said in his testimony, his interview.
And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Carmelo was only 5'8", 130 something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220 something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can die from fights, from people using their hands. And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
Salakia, imagine if this sister was on a jury.
Yeah.
You know, imagine if she was on a jury with that rational state of mind, which you need to be a jury. You got to be rational. You can't be biased, man, or we see what happens. She wasn't making it a black or white thing. She was like, this was self-defense.
Yeah.
Just based off of the evidence. That's what she did. So to Adawan Aharon's point that he made earlier, man, so maybe we need to reevaluate, our political stances on making real change in our communities and how we're policed. And it's something we have to talk about as a nation, man. We got to talk about it, I yield that on.
That's right. Excellent point. We have another video where we know everybody believes Esau. We know how that goes. Right. Esau kind of goes into the trial, and he actually says that they made a huge mistake. Like Austin Metcalf's attorneys, like is he basically correct me if I'm wrong in the cover shop, but he basically was like they forfeited it. Like they didn't really put up too much of a fight.
He didn't.
That's so. The Edomite in this video basically lines out a synopsis on what should have happened and cases that should have been brought up to justify the self-defense, or at least give Carmelo a fighting chance in his defense. But none of this was brought up. So it's almost like they just came in, threw the white flag, and it was over. Yeah. The brother didn't have a fighting chance at all. Man.
Yeah.
At all. Right. That's easy for you to say, but then we see that all the time.
Right.
They claim someone is doing something. There is no weapon. They murder that individual, and then they get off scot-free.
And the thing is this: the whole point of self-defense, you don't know where this person is going to stop. I've given a verbal command for them to stop. They then start to push me, so they don't. That's another level of escalation. How do I know that they're going to stop at pushing? How do I know that they're not going to beat my head in? It's bleachers, multiple of them. Him and his brother are there. How do I know? Should we wait for that to happen? No. A threat is imminent. The level of threat, we're unclear. But the onus is not on him to sit up here and wait for Austin to become rational.
Salakia. And even to that point, I think because of the title of the case, Austin Metcalf versus Carmelo Anthony, you assume that this is a 101 altercation, but you hear from the testimony of the lady that just spoke that there were several young men coming against Carmelo Anthony. So at what point do we deem imminent danger or imminent death? Is it 101?
Right.
So I think you have to look at the total aspect of the threat that was being presented. The threat that was being presented was multiple young men. Just so happened one of them was killed. So I think it's when you're handling in a case like this, there has to be fact. The problem is we don't have the audio nor the clear video to substantiate any rational conclusion to the case. You need actual witness testimony or the video that this lady who was in a previous video actually cited. For us as bystanders or third party investigators, it's very rash to say that the brother didn't have imminent danger or feel imminent death, you know, especially when a brother didn't testify himself.
Yeah.
Every time. That's the same thing with y'all forgot about Michael Brown. You forgot?
Mm-hmm.
You
Hey,
forgot about
Salaki,
Michael Brown. You forgot about what about Ahmaud Arbery? They was chasing the man. But that's why we say we know when the shoe is on the other foot, it doesn't matter. If this was the other way around, there would be no 35-year sentence. That would have been a soft, angelic, weak, frail Caucasian boy that feared for his life.
They would have called him a hero.
And unalived a crooked bully. And instead of getting teachers or the coach to remove the guy from the tent, he took it upon his own head, upon his own hands to remove the young Caucasian frail boy, and the boy stabs him in the chest out of fear. Are we looking at the same case? Sir Dad Bod.
We can't be looking at the same case.
I want Sir Dad Bod to answer that question for me.
Please.
It don't matter what tribe you're from. I'm asking you, are we looking at the same case?
Well, I think what it's going to come down to is threat or the perception of threat subjective? The answer is going to be yes. So then, who is it subject to? The person issuing the threat or the person who's being threatened? That's the person who's being threatened. And in this case, it's the brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's never about what ifs when it's about us. Never. The what if, we can't have what if thoughts. What if thoughts is going to get you 35 years in jail.
Exactly. Benefit of the doubt. We don't get that.
You don't get a what if. That's why he said that. It's not about a what if. Because for us, it ain't about what if. Every decision we make is a life or death decision. But for them, they can get a what if. They can get a benefit of the doubt.
That's right.
They can get maybe or speculations.
Hey, Shalaki had one.
Go ahead.
Hey, can a brother give me Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4?
I was just there. I dropped it.
Bring it out.
I was just there and I just dropped it out. Hold on.
Like, cause I be tired of hearing these brothers and sisters that love to cool out and make excuses for everything they do, but when we do it, we have no sympathy. It's always, we should have been more careful. We should have kept our mouth shut. We should have did this. We should have did that. That what if scenario always come into play when it's us. But when it's come to these devils, it's never no what if. It's never a what if. Like, and I hate that, man. I hate that spirit on our people. I don't care what tribe you from, bro. At the end of the day, we need to kill that spirit out of our people, man. That it bothers me so much, man. Can you read that, King?
Khan, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
Like, let's take Trey, right? Let's take Trayvon, for example. Zimmerman was warned by the 911 caller, by the 911 operator, right? Hey, leave the boy alone. Go home. He was given a warning, but he still pursued Trayvon and shot him down in cold blood. And how did he get off his case? How did he get off his charges? Right? He said what? The famous statement, I fear for my life.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they have said they fear for their life, they got off.
Mm-hmm.
But if we use it, what happens with us? I've never seen us get off by using that same statement. I fear for my life. I gave him warning. I wasn't trying to do this and that and the third. I was defending myself. This young man was defending himself. A 135-pound young man defending himself for something that he probably was using, like he said, allegedly, probably was using just to sharpen his cleats. He a track star, right? The same excuse that these devils used to get off, he could use that and they railroad the brother 2 months after they charged him. They booked him. He got 35 years. So, brother, whoever you are, sir, dad, whatever you are, at the end of the day, take that into consideration before you start judging this young man. Before you start judging your own people, take that in consideration. And this goes for every one of you coons, wherever you at, man. Take that in consideration before you judge your own people. The general just did a class a week ago talking about how we love to turn a blind eye to everybody else, but quick to point out our own flaws and don't understanding, lacking the understanding that this is the result of what they have did to us. This is a system they set up, built off the backs and blood, sweat, and tears of our own people, but it's not built for our people. The law is slack when it comes to us, but when it comes to them, they love to find some kind of loophole. Somehow these laws came out of nowhere, just appeared out of nowhere, and now the video footage that shows this brother's innocence, it can't be used in a court of law. Like, come on, man. So stop cooning out, man. I yield out of one.
All right, let's play this video. He has a pretty solid take on it. Let's see what he got to say.
Okay, so before I'm going to start getting into more issues for you guys, I am going to set the stage. Now, this is a long ass summary of the argument, but when I write briefs, I always set up the story of what happened to get the judge fucking engaged.
Use the
set up
language.
all the predicate legal challenges through the story. So if you want to wonder what did Carmelo's attorneys mess up, we're going to set the stage. I'm going to read this shit in my own voice. You guys can follow along if you want, but this is the story of what went wrong in his trial. Counsel for defendant Carmelo Sincere Anthony was ineffective in myriad ways, each one compounding the last, collectively stripping a 17-year-old boy of every meaningful protection the Sixth Amendment was designed to guarantee. What happened in that courtroom was not a trial in any constitutional sense. It was a ceremony of conviction, presided over by attorneys who left 21 prosecution witnesses unconfronted, a self-defense claim undefended, and a young man unheard. The facts of this case demanded a defense. Carmelo Anthony, 135 pounds, 5'8", post-surgical shoulder, seated, warned Austin Metcalf not to touch him. Multiple prosecution witnesses heard that warning. Multiple prosecution witnesses believed he was bluffing. A bluff is conduct calculated to deter, not provoke. Austin Metcalf heard that warning, told Carmelo, "I'm not going to fight," at a track meet, and then grabbed him by both shoulders anyway. That sequence, decline, then shove, is not provocation under any theory Texas law recognizes. It is an independent, volitional act of a man who was warned, who declined, and who chose physical contact regardless. Right. Austin Metcalf's twin brother stood nearby. Approximately 20 students surrounded that tent. the medical examiner, a prosecution witness, testified to a 2-inch wound on a 3.5-inch blade. Austin Metcalf's own words were, "I think I got stabbed." Not the statement of a man who received a deliberate, forceful thrust through bone, but the expression of someone whose body moved into contact he did not fully register. The prosecution witness demonstrated in open court that Austin was standing and leaning forward, his own body weight carrying him toward Carmelo at the moment of contact. Carmelo's immediate words to law enforcement, before any attorney, before any coaching, before any strategy, were, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to touch me." The prosecution called 21 witnesses. 21 witnesses whose testimony taken together built the self-defense case that Carmelo's own attorneys never made.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I think his attorney was on the take. I think he something like, "Listen, you'll never practice law here. Your career is over, etc., etc."
Khan, I don't want Salakia, and then anybody. I'm not gonna speak as if I'm an expert on it, but just my lived experience. Texans, they operate as if they're their own country, with their laws, their agriculture, their economy. They very much it's ingrained in the judicial system that they have there. They've got generations and generations upon of what's the word I'm looking for, of corruption within their laws, man. And whatever needs to be taken to protect whoever needs to protect, whose family, this family, that family, they'll go to whatever extent they need to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep going.
Trial counsel never made it because trial counsel never confronted those 21 witnesses with what their testimony established. Not one was systematically examined to
How do you not question the witnesses, though?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Because he got a public defender, right?
Public pretender.
He got money. That money, instead of buying a house, should have been on an attorney.
Even the money situation is crazy. They said they was freezing the money to GoFundMe. There was when you look, because we was going down a rabbit hole, man. When you go down a rabbit hole with this case, it's a lot of madness. The freezing the money.
Exactly.
His family was getting advice to get white attorneys and not civil rights and black leaders. Which who knows if that would have made a difference, but maybe. Then there was a thing where they were saying that Carmelo Anthony's family was buying houses and all of this stuff, but really the family was under threat, right? And being threatened, they were saying. So they probably had to try to hide or whatever the case. But then there was another thing they were saying they didn't even get the money. Like none of that stuff is true. It's a lot of propaganda. There was another thing where they were saying a lady was getting information about Carmelo Anthony's family and him and his parents and putting it out to the media. So it was a lot of madness going on to paint this. Even that scripture, they lie, man. They just lie. They have to muddy the water and change the minds of people so they could win. They are born liars. That's right. That's a good scripture by King, man. I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just. They take bribes. They turn aside the poor in the gate from their right. Good scripture. Bring it out, Naya.
Actually, I got the wrong scripture. I'm tripping.
Salakia.
Here we go. I got it.
Salakia, this is Psalm 58, starting at verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Yep. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies.
That's right.
Matter of fact, get Proverbs 17 and 15 too.
You're right. Bring that out.
Count on one. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord.
Yeah.
The Lord's not rocking with any of this. And you don't even, the media, the people who's promoting these images and like purposely muddying this story, you don't realize you commit an abomination to the Lord. The Lord is not on your side for this.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Let's keep going to the video.
Extract the concessions that Smith required. Made it because trial counsel never confronted. You should call 21 witnesses. 21 witnesses whose testimony taken together built the self-defense case that Carmelo's own attorneys never made. Trial counsel never made it because trial counsel never confronted those 21 witnesses with what their testimony established. Not one was systematically examined to extract the concessions that Smith required. That the warning was a bluff calculated to deter, not provoke. That Austin independently chose to shove after declining the confrontation, breaking any casual chain. That Carmelo cried and said he won't die, destroying any theory of premeditated design. Not one was used to build the architecture of stand your ground that Texas Penal Code demanded. That Carmelo had a right to be present, that he was not engaged in criminal activity, that all his pre-contact conduct was verbal and therefore could not constitute provocation as a matter of law. The prosecution handed defense counsel the self-defense case through its own witnesses. Defense counsel never picked it up. Trial counsel then failed the motion for directed verdict, filing it generically, without precision, without citing the statute, without applying Smith's three-part test to the prosecution's own uncontroverted testimony, without arguing that stand your ground applied as a matter of law from the undisputed facts. Had counsel argued with that specificity, either the directed verdict would have been granted or preserved specific legal error would exist on direct appeal today instead of a generic insufficiency argument.
Yeah, so he said a lot. So we got to get into the Smith versus State. Got to understand this, right? Coach, you sent the link, right?
Another one.
This one, the first one you sent me? The one that's already...
And I'll read based off the other one as well.
Okay, so we had to go into the Smith versus State three-part rule, kind of understand, what this meant. So obviously ChatGPT search engine, see what is this about, right? Let's get a synopsis of this. So somebody read this for I. If you can see.
Okay.
Can you see that? I'm gonna bring the chat down. I'm gonna take the chat away. All right, go ahead, whenever you're ready.
Connor one. And it reads, if you're referring to, I'll go up. What is the Smith versus State three-part rule? If you're referring to the Texas Smith versus State three-part rule that has been discussed in connection with self-defense cases, it is the rule when a jury may be instructed on provoking the difficulty, provocation.
Salakia. So provocation is the words that are being used to provoke somebody, or basically you're using reverse psychology to get somebody to do something that you're intending on doing to them. So it's basically you using words to bait them to try to fight you so I can kill you. That's what provocation is.
And what he was saying is that the defense used that in the case. Or did not use it. I'm asking you.
They did not use it.
They did not use it, right? That's right. Go ahead.
Continuing on, under fine law, case law, which is the source, the traditional three-part test is: number one, self-defense is raised as an issue in the case. Number two, there's evidence that the other person made the first attack or appeared to do so. And number three, there's evidence that the defendant intentionally said or did something calculated to provoke the confrontation so that he would have a pretext or excuse to inflict harm on the other person.
So that would indicate the premeditation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the video and verbal evidence is so crucial to a self-defense case. Based on the This is why we said, based on the videos that have been put to the public, there's no audio. So you're looking at a video that's at least 100 yards away from where the incident actually happened, and you have people that zoom in their screen where it's so muffled that you can barely see body shapes of the video that you're actually trying to prove something with. So it becomes all speculation on what actually occurred. This is why witness testimony is so crucial. So the inference is that Carmelo Anthony was saying, hit me and see what happens, with the intent that I want you to actually hit me so I can stab you, because I know I got this knife in my pocket and I'm going to stab you. That's not what's being inferred here.
It's the Chud the Builder thing. That's what Chud do.
Yes, that's Chug the Builder. I'm gonna call you all these N-words and insult you, and as soon as you touch me, I'm gonna shoot you.
That's
Or
right.
do something to you. That's not what Carmelo Anthony is doing here. Because his intent is not to unalive the Metcalf.
So let me read this from another standpoint. It says,
bring it up.
These are the first three tests. Is number one, the defendant did some act or use some words that provoked the encounter, and based on the video evidence that that Eve, the sister in a previous video, has stated, was that Austin was already sitting under the tent, and 6 or so young men, including Austin Metcalf, approached him. So that would negate number one.
Yeah, Carmelo was sitting under the tent.
Carmelo was sitting under the tent. Lock it. Number two, the act or words were reasonably calculated to provoke the act. So now you have to apply intent. Without Carmelo's testimony, you cannot prove that. Number two is canceled. The act or words were done for the purpose and with the intent of creating a pretext to inflict harm under the guise of self-defense, meaning that his intention going in that tent and provoking Austin Metcalf was so that he could justify himself under self-defense. Without Carmelo's testimony, number three is already disproven. So the third element is the crucial one. Texas law does not deny self-defense merely because a person said something provocative. The evidence must support an inference that the defendant intended to bring about the confrontation as a pretext for harming the other person. So you now have to take all 22 of those witnesses, their testimony, to prove that, hey, Austin's intent, as if they would know his intent, was to provoke him so he could stab him, meaning that all 22 people that were testifying knew from the jump that he had a knife in his pocket. You can't prove that.
You can't prove this.
And it's quite the contrary, because all of them testified that he said, leave me alone. So his intention was to be left alone.
Exactly. It shows you from the jump that his lawyer was ill-prepared, or he had another agenda in representing Austin from the jump.
That's right.
You know, getting even the I'm not sure if you're gonna play that video. Even in getting in the Charleston White video, just it for me it pissed me off just hearing, some of the words that he said to that even what was played on C4N.
Yeah.
You know, where he even admitted he didn't think that an all-white jury was heartless.
Oh my God.
Historically.
Come on.
If I have an all-white jury, my head gonna be hung down.
Yeah, you never look at them.
If my lawyer approved an all-white jury, you're fired.
Right.
You're fired. I don't care how any of those jurors actually felt. But I'm playing with a loaded deck when I walk in with an all-white jury. The favor is not for me.
No, not at all. That ain't even Russian roulette. You like you said, a loaded deck. There is the bullet in every chamber.
That's right.
Yeah,
there's a bullet in every one of them. The spin is gonna hit me. After it spin, it's gonna hit me out because there's no way I'm getting out of this here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So look how even we're breaking. That's why we said the re-examination of the evidence. Because when we was looking at it, we was like, hold on, we could break this down better. We could have probably defended him because the video is inconclusive. We don't know what that shows. We just know it's an event transpired. He ran. He got detained. Fair. No witnesses questioned. Why didn't his brother take the stand? What were you doing there? And then all we needed was another witness. The dude that was with Carmelo Anthony, his friend. If his testimony would have been against Austin Metcalf's brother's testimony, where information didn't line up, come on, what are we doing? That was easy. We understand that.
Yeah.
Or if any witness said, no, Carmelo Anthony, he was just sitting laughing and talking. And then Austin came and put his hands on him and tried to move him himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we asked his brother, well, why didn't you go to the coaches or to the teachers or anyone else to help move him out of the way or tell him to leave the tent if you felt so strongly about it? Why did you all take matters into your own hand? And let's hear the answer. We'll never get that.
Right.
We'll never get that answer. They would have said objection. To that one, you have to object. You have to because you don't want him to answer this. You do not want him to answer. Because he's gonna have to look at the jury and say, well, what can he say to that question? Sir, why did you decide to take matters into your own hands and surround Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah.
And remove him yourselves? Why did you all do that? The jury is going to be on the edge of their seat because we need y'all answer. Because y'all twins, right? So y'all probably was thinking close to the same thing. We'll never have that answer.
Yeah.
Our brother is sitting down doing 35 years. That's a simple question. Let's keep going because they did more. He had a piss poor jury, piss poor judge, and attorney.
Trial counsel then allowed the prosecutor to stand before the jury and rewrite Texas law from whole cloth.
Watch this. Y'all listen good. It says they rewrote Texas law by the stuff they were saying, meaning the stuff that they brought out against Carmelo as far as statutes, that ain't what they say in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the opposite. Listen.
Stand before the jury and rewrite Texas law from whole cloth. The prosecutor told Carmelo should have walked away. In a stand your ground state where Texas Penal Code expressly prohibits the finder of fact from even considering whether the actor failed to retreat.
So you don't even got to think about walking away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to think about walking away from that. You put your hands on me, you're going to F around and find out.
Period.
But that's what they pled. What? Yo, this is crazy. This don't make no sense. This almost don't seem real. Because come on now. All right. 100 years ago, Aharon, no cameras, no face, no case.
Mm-hmm.
He was in some servitude. All right. But it's 2026. That goes to show you ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Matter of fact, if anything, it got worse because it's cameras. People are smarter now. You shouldn't be going for certain. It's worse. Mm-hmm. Back then, they can hide it. They make up their own stories of why. And he whistled at the white girl. There's no evidence at this. Keep going.
The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo could only meet a shove with a shove, imposing a force matching standard that has never existed under Texas law.
So the guy, wait, where is Sir Dad?
He gone now.
He gone. He been gone.
Come back.
Yeah.
No. I need his comment. If he got jumped, he would have beat the case. No, he wouldn't.
Even before that, he said he had to have fallen down at some point. We seen that on the footage. He was on the ground at some point. How did he get on the ground?
Texas say you don't gotta meet force with force. If you put your hands on me, I can meet it with whatever kind of force I want. Because you can't touch me.
That's the law.
No, Sir Dad said you gotta know the law.
That's what he said.
Did knowing the law help him in this part? You got to play that again so he can hear it.
Is he here?
He said he back.
He said he had to take a call, but he's back.
Yeah.
Good. Because we're not against Sir Ephraim. I don't even know you, bro.
We're not against.
No. We ain't against him.
We just strong about our opinion and you strong about yours. Let's run it back. Listen good, Sir Ephraim. Since you say you a doctor of America's law, enlighten us, please.
The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo should have walked away and see.
Let me go back a little bit more.
Trial counsel then allowed the prosecutor to stand before the jury and rewrite Texas law from whole cloth. The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo should have walked away in a stand your ground state where Texas Penal Code expressly prohibits the finder of fact from even considering whether the actor failed to retreat. The prosecutor now uncontroverted testimony.
So it says that Carmelo Anthony doesn't even have to think about walking away. Sir Dad,
Yeah, the fact finder in this case, the prosecutor, he can't even think about that. He can't even consider that whatsoever. It's not even applicable to your argument.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like that's what hinging the whole argument on.
But the lawyer portrayed the law as if he should have met Austin Metcalf shove for shove, as if that is the law. He's twisting the law. That's why I would probably call him a paralegal, said that that's not the statute. They're rewriting the law right in front of the jurors' eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I went back some. Hold on, let me find
a directed verdict would have been granted or a generic insufficiency argument. Whole cloth. The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo should have walked away in a stand your ground state where Texas Penal Code expressly prohibits the finder of fact from even considering whether the actor failed to retreat. The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo could only meet a shove with a shove, imposing a force matching standard that has never existed under Texas law.
So shove for shove, Sir Dad, but no. We ain't no. We not talking about curses, brother. We know the curses. That's why we here.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We know the curses. We know Job, we could teach you something about Job 9:24 too. But if we want to go that route, but we know the curses are. That ain't what we talking about. We talking about was he tried fairly or not?
Mm-hmm.
We understand the
Right.
curses. We knew from the jump he would never be tried fairly. But the eyes of the Caucasians, they make it seem like that, and they're fighting hard. That's who we really against when we're doing stuff like this. For those bigots that think he was actually tried fairly and deserved 35 years. I don't think you believe that, but I could assume that kind of from what you're saying. I understand this too. I don't think he should have said nothing to the cop.
Right.
He should have
Right.
said nothing. He should have remained. You have the right to remain silent.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been his fault there. But even then, what this jury, what they did as Austin Metcalf's attorneys, they ain't right. So I want you to go back to that law talk.
The actor failed to retreat. The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo could only meet a shove with a shove, imposing a force matching standard that has never existed under Texas law. The prosecutor told the jury Carmelo was required to visibly display his weapon before using it in self-defense, a requirement that does not exist under Texas law and that would in fact constitute a crime under Texas Penal Code. The prosecutor told the jury that Carmelo was always going to come out on top that day and had it in his mind what he was going to do, fabricating his mental state from nothing, no witness, no document, no recording. Defense counsel objected to none of it. In Texas,
You hear that? The defense counsel objected to none of that.
That's crazy.
Salakia, but
Brother,
that
we
shows you that
looking at this case. I don't know what you're even talking about. We're putting a fine lens on this case to show the 73 people that's watching. Yo, don't fall for none of that. What these people be talking about. You can't fall for it. These people have been lying to us from the jump. From the jump. Go ahead, Nakasha.
but it shows you, sometimes people are ill-advised, and when you take the onus, especially in a sundown town or sundown city, you take the responsibility or the action where a lot of people, even it don't even have to be in a sundown town. A lot of people think that, man, if I go and get the Jew or I go and get the white man, I'm gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a sundown town.
They can't help you.
His parents were ill-advised. For me to put myself in the hands of someone who looks like the racist city that I live in, is insane. I would rather subject, if I gotta get a court appointed attorney, let that man look like me.
Yeah, man.
Because he can feel how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
He should be able to understand my position and defend from that. But no, his parents were ill-advised. And one of the things, and I hate to even bring up the dude Charleston White. The one thing that Charleston White said was he was pissed when he went and got civil rights attorneys. In a case like this, or in a town like that, a state like that, Black lawyers almost have to be civil rights attorneys regardless of the crime.
Yeah.
Because that's what's being stacked against our people all the time. Though it may not have been racially motivated attack against Carmelo Anthony, it turned into a racial trial the moment it became a all-white jury.
That's right.
So my attorney has to be skilled in that.
Mm-hmm. It's tough, man. Let's keep going. I don't hear no more law talk.
Court of Criminal Appeals recognized 2 months before this trial in Cuevas that prosecutorial misstatements of self-defense law can virtually strip a defendant of his defensive theory and require reversal. Even through Justice Uri's dissent, written specifically to limit that relief, the court acknowledged that when counsel fails to preserve such misstatements through timely objection, there may be an available resort to habeas on the premise that trial counsel may have been ineffective for failing to preserve that claim. That is precisely the case. 2 months after Cuevas, trial counsel sat silent while the prosecutor dismantled Texas self-defense law before the jury, misstatement by misstatement, without a single objection. Trial counsel then allowed a provocation instruction to be given to the jury that had no evidentiary predicate because every prosecution witness confirmed that all of Carmelo's pre-contact conduct was verbal, and verbal conduct alone cannot constitute the kind of provocation that forfeits self-defense as a matter of law under Texas.
Do you hear that, man?
Yeah.
Can you break that down for me, Kawasha?
You got to play it again, Adawan. Like I was reading the comments in the chat.
What's this?
Every prosecution witness confirmed that all of Carmelo's pre-contact conduct was verbal, and verbal conduct alone cannot constitute the kind of provocation that forfeits self-defense as a matter of law under Texas statute.
So basically what he's saying is that everything that Carmelo Anthony did wasn't to the intent to provoke him to violence. So he didn't posture himself as if he was trying to be threatening to force Metcalf to approach or to attack him so that he could stab him. All of his words were just everything that he said was just words. So it can be counted as a bluff. So you cannot substantiate provocation based on even the witness's testimony that was given by those who took the stand. You just can't do it. But the attorney, he failed to object when the provocation was cited to the jurors. And that's what I mean when you go and you side with your oppressor, and this unfortunately these are the type of results that we get.
Bro, 35 years. I keep thinking this thing, bro. I have a 1-year-old son. He's gonna be 35. My child, Lord willing, will be 35 years old when he get out of jail. That is a long time.
Yeah.
That is a long time, man. And his defense attorneys ain't say no objection, no nothing. I want to watch the trial now. I want to go find it in the public. Yeah. And I want to watch the trial live. I need to watch it. That's a class, man. We might have to put all that together and watch this trial live. Because this don't make no sense. You got to see the faces of these people, how they was acting, how they was looking. I want to see Carmelo. I want to see his mom. Man.
The instruction went further. It or produced a necessity language set the standard lower than Smith requires, allowing the jury to reject self-defense without finding the specific premeditated intent to manufacture a killing pretext that Smith demands. Trial.
So they were able to reject self-defense off of a notion that Smith doesn't, it's not there. So they literally was rewriting acts, statutes. Yeah. You can imagine how they was doing our people back in the day, man. You can only, man, it was we have no chance.
Counsel said nothing. Trial counsel then allowed the jury to convict on an intent to injure theory of murder. The disjunctive.
An intent?
Yeah.
That's all I can say to that. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Salaki, I don't want it. Just goes back to the point. Like Texas is different, man. I know there's probably other states that are similar. Louisiana is bad as well, but Texas is different, man. In the judicial system, man, they can make it be what they want it to be, and they definitely know how to, manipulate the laws in their favor, man. It's just a different place. It's a different place.
Did you hear what he said, man?
Intent, yeah.
Pretext that Smith demands. Trial counsel said nothing. Trial counsel then allowed the jury to convict on an intent to injure theory of murder.
An intended injury theory of murder. So he intended to murder him. It was premeditated. He had intentions on doing that. Come on, man.
Hey, Salakia. Daniel 7:25. I'm gonna just read it because I'm here. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25, right? And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and dividing the time. So we know when the wicked gets in power, they manipulate the laws. They do whatever they can. We just saw how earlier they changed policies because they could not deal with us, how powerful we are, truly. Right? So that's why it won't hurt to even be for all of us to be a little bit more knowledgeable on the law, so we know how to move, what to move. Matter of fact, when it comes to like dealing with police, the brother Abaya has the We the People University that educates you on how to deal with certain situations when you have a weapon on you. You know what I mean? When you find yourself in dangerous situations, to kind of make yourself aware of the laws, and so you know how to move, because it's not a fair circumstance.
Yeah. Not a. That's why we got to come on here. Give me Proverbs 31 and 9.
Salakia, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, starting at verse 9. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy.
That's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to plead his cause, man. Because this don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. Let's just finish this
the
up.
disjunctive or instruction that required no intent to kill, without ever requesting a self-defense instruction that applied to that theory. Jurors who convicted Carmelo on the intent to injure path had no instruction on whether self-defense defeated it. Half the jury may have never applied self-defense at all. And then, at that moment that mattered most, trial counsel failed to prepare and present the only witness who could have told the jury what self-defense actually felt like from inside. Carmelo Anthony, what it felt like to be 135 pounds with a surgically repaired shoulder, grabbed with both hands by a 200-pound opponent, while his twin brother stood nearby and 20 students surrounded him. What he believed in that fraction of a second, what terror rendered him incapable of cool reflection, what any ordinary person would have felt in those circumstances. No witness was competent to establish that subjective belief. No expert, no coach, no teammate could speak for Carmelo's mind in that moment. Only Carmelo could. And trial counsel's cascading failures, the unchallenged misstatements, the unargued statutes, the unconfronted witnesses, the unobjected to instructions made his testimony not merely important, but essential. Yet Carmelo was never told that. His decision not to testify was made without knowing that his counsel had already abandoned the legal framework that made his testimony the last line of defense. His waiver was not knowing, it was not intelligent, it was the uninformed product of counsel's failures that left him unarmed in a proceeding that demanded everything he had. When a true adversarial criminal trial has been conducted, even if defense counsel made demonstrable errors, the kind of testing envisioned by the Sixth Amendment has occurred. But if the process loses its character as a confrontation between adversaries, the constitutional guarantee is violated. While a criminal trial is not a game in which the participants are expected to enter the ring with a near matching skills, neither is it a sacrifice of unarmed prisoners to gladiators. The entire process of this trial was infected by counsel's patent ineffectiveness, which definitively altered its outcome. Carmelo Anthony did not lose a fair trial. He was never given one.
That's a fact.
Yep.
That's how you set up an argument. And I will show you guys all the shit legally of every one of those arguments. That's what happened.
Well, he was never given a fair trial, which we understood that from the jump. We understood that from the jump. Carmelo Anthony was never going to get a fair trial. It was never the intent for him to go into that judge and get a fair trial. Now let's get some records. Go to Deuteronomy 28, man. Give me 65.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, beginning at verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
35 years. Keep going.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
35 years. Keep going.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
35 years.
And failing eyes.
35 years.
And sorrow of mind.
35 years. That's why it's so important. We gotta come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
That is the only hope we have left. That is the only hope we have left, man. There is no other hope out here. Pan-Africanism, Muslim, Christianity, and the Trinity. The atheists, the Black Panther movement, what other movements they got? But every movement, nation is, it ain't no movement is not gonna do it. You gotta come back. That's it.
Salakia, just to let me back on your point, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 34. It says, righteousness exalt a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. That's it. So had we, if we get back to these law, statutes, and commandments, or had we listened in the first place, we would be exalted. We would be at the top. We wouldn't have to be dealing with these curses, right? It says, but what? Sin is going to be a reproach to anybody. If you're living in sin, it's going to be a reproach unto you. All right. And so we're seeing that. We're living in that.
Yeah. Gonna be no fairness, man. Gotta keep the commandment. That's the only way. Put before you life and death. Choose whatever one you want.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Hey, brother, get Sirach 4 and 9. And give me 1 John 3 and 17. And I want to bring out something Captain Aharon said, and it made me even reconsider, before we're so quick to X ourselves out of jury duty. I think examining how our brothers and sisters are being treated, something's got to be done, man. We got to change the way we view it. Read that Sirach 4 and 9.
Go ahead, King. You got it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 9. Deliver him that suffereth wrong from the hand of the oppressor.
So you got to deliver those that are suffering wrong. And that means you actually doing your part. It doesn't mean, that you just take the stance. Oh, nah, I don't want to be involved. I didn't see the matter, but you're hearing the matter. You have the obligation to make diligent inquisition, to examine that matter. Because when we don't, man, we do our brothers and sisters an injustice. We're allowing our oppressors to just crucify our people wrongfully. And I think we got to take a more intelligent approach, when it comes to us being a part of juries and taking that stance. Read that 1 John chapter 3, verse 17.
Count out of one. This is the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 17. But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him.
So when you know your brother is being railroaded, and you have the ability to be that just person, and you don't do nothing, man. Keep reading.
How dwelleth the love of God in him?
Man, so you got to check yourself, man, because your bowels of compassion should be towards your brothers. This is why we need righteous lawyers in the truth, man.
Yeah.
We need righteous judges, man, in this world, man, to plead our cause. Give me Matthew 25:40.
Another one. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Man, so that's one thing that we got to consider, man. When we turn a blind eye to the oppression of our people, you turn a blind eye to Christ and the Most High, man. So I think we gotta reformulate our thought process and really understand that the odds are stacked against us, and to discredit ourselves from that process, man, we're not doing our brothers and sisters justice, man.
Hey, it's Salakia. To follow on to that, brother, read real quick Acts 7:24 and 25. Right? Because we forget sometimes a wonderful example of this same principle applied.
Count out of one. This is the book of Acts chapter 7, starting at verse 24.
Matter of fact, start at verse 22.
Count out of one. Starting at verse 22. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds.
So first things first, you see, he acquired wisdom. He knew how to move. He knew the systems. He knew the policies. He made himself aware of this thing, right? And although he was wise and educated himself, let's see if he used that to separate himself for his people or to defend his people. Keep going.
Verse 23. And when he was full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel.
So you see, it was in his heart. He still had a heart and mind towards his people, towards the plight of his people. Although he had been elevated, although he acquired wisdom, although he was in a pretty great spot, he still never abandoned that love and that tether to his people. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed, and smote the Egyptian.
You see, he saw his brother being done wrong and being oppressed, and he defended him and avenged him. Now, I'm not saying that we go out and get blood for blood and try to go out and hurt anyone to avenge him. However, we damn sure could educate ourselves, become more wise, and show up, whether it's jury duty, whether it's a paralegal or a lawyer or whatever. But we can definitely take a better approach into defending our people, right, against the justice system, right? Keep going.
Count out of one. Verse 25. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that God.
Wait, and Salaka, you would think that's common knowledge. You would think we should understand that. It's common sense to, hey, don't complain about not having a black juror if you and every single one of the people that you know that get called up for jury duty, make it your business to find an excuse to get out. You would think we would understand that. However, we still have what? Keep going.
For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that God by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not.
But they understood not, right? And sometimes we're dealing with that right now where we seeking deliverance from the Lord, right? And we saying it requires coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Yes, we are going to defend ourselves here. Yes, we're going to be wise and learn how to navigate through these policies. However, the ultimate salvation is got to come from the Father.
Mm-hmm.
And our people seem to not understand that, right? So it's the exact same situation we see ourselves in now.
Hey, Salaki, I don't want.
Go ahead.
Can somebody give me 1 Corinthians chapter 12? And we're gonna start from 24. We're gonna read to 26. Because this should be the mindset of our people, right? How we should look at each other. Because I think a lot of times, man, this mindset of when it comes to certain brothers that we seen dealing with in the chat, dealing with brothers giving an expose on the case or on the video or whatever the case may be, sometimes we lose sight that we're all in this thing together, whether you like it, understand it, believe it or not. Right? Go ahead and read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 24. For our comely parts have no need, but God hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked.
Salakia. So the Most High, through Christ, had created the body of Christ, right? The Most High is in a process of restoring us, bringing us back together as a family, right? And through that bringing back togetherness, right? Bringing that family back together as one, there's a lot of issues that we have to work through, right? Like we're not blind to those issues. We understand we got things that we need to work on within our own nation, right? That's why the Most High put certain brothers, certain sisters in position to help those who the scripture says that lack, right? That part of the body. Keep reading.
And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer.
25.
25, Salakia.
Yeah.
That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care for one another.
Right. So even though there are issues that we need to work on, we should never lose sight on this one fact that we should care for one another.
That's right, man.
Right. And a lot of times, because of a certain amount of success, a certain amount of notoriety, we came into certain parts of the body came into a certain amount of money. That money, success, notoriety, that causes us to lose sight on that fact that, yo, we got issues and I'm gonna let y'all deal with those, but I'm separate from y'all. I ain't gotta deal with those. Racism don't exist in my paradigm because I've gotten up where you still from where you at, right? But it should never be that, man. It should never be that, right? Keep going.
Verse 26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it.
So guess what? This brother got to do 35 years. Guess who's suffering with him? His parents, his family members. And ultimately, overall, we all suffering with that. We all suffering with that because we have to look at that example of this system that has never changed. These people who's in power, they never changed. Nothing has changed. Right? So when one suffer, we all suffer. When one gets success, we all get success. That's the mindset of the people. That's the mindset of the Most High towards his people. And that's the mindset that the Most High has instilled in us here at SOT. And that's the mindset that we're trying to teach our brothers and sisters, right? So that certain brothers who got this mindset of, well, he shouldn't have did, what if, forget all that, bro. At the end of the day, this young man got to do 35 years, 17 at least. What you gonna do about it? Instead of judging this brother, instead of talking about he should, what would you have done in that situation? Right? So you got to put yourself in the shoes of your people and think about them. Don't separate yourself from that, man. We all suffering because of this. Right? This is a blackout upon all of us because of what has conspired throughout history, right? And I yield with that out of line.
You're on mute.
That's some great points I was saying. That's excellent points, man. It's tragic situation for that brother, man. You know, and we pray that the Most High Right could just intervene some kind of way and allow that brother to get a fair trial and get out of that 35-year sentence, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you could hear the cries of one of the saints, man, one of his children, you know. Or Lord willing, that brother can find the truth in that pen, man.
Okay.
Be converted and repent, you know, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what it's going to be about, whether he get out or not, man. But it's a tough situation, man. It's tough. Like if we was all 17, you know, we was all in different situations, you know, with the other race possibly, and you know, that could have been any one of us or any one of our children. Right? And we see how it plays out over and over and over. Like 35 years, that's all I can say, bro. All I can say. So, brothers, got anything else? Any other precepts?
All
right, with that, we'll conclude the lesson, man. I think we could have been his attorneys at this point. How we examined just the little information we had, right? But this is another episode of the Bar4Bar, Anthony versus Metcalf, re-examining the evidence, and the conclusion is Anthony Metcalf acted out of self-defense and should be innocent. With that, I'm Captain Yaquab.
Captain Aharon.
Captain Akawasha.
Captain Ayala.
Officer Ashar
Soldier Danyala.
Hey, for the sons of the Israelites, these are heart's current desire for Israel, that they might be saved. Shalom.
Shalom, man.
Y'all first, let the whole place rise. Friday night fire with the truth in our eyes. Sons of thunder, let the whole room know. We stand on the word and we move in the glow. We came through the week, now the camp stand strong. Built by the truth, let the weak stand on. This ain't for show, this a people with aim. Law in the heart, we stand in the name. Stand in the name. Let the whole room answer. Children of Israel, built through the pressure. Stand in the name. Let the whole camp speak. All pray, yeah, that's the power we keep. Stand in the name, let the whole earth hear it. Truth in the chest, let the Most High steer it. Stand in the name, let the whole thing ring. Friday night class, let the whole room sing. I learned the hard way, flesh can't lead right. That's why I keep the Most High in my sight. World teach pride, but the law teach measure. How to stay firm when the days bring pressure. Brothers in the room with the weak on they back. Still standing tall, still keeping intact. Still trying to lead with the truth in their chest. Still trying to build and correct what's left. And that's why this sound got weight in it. Not hype for a crowd, got faith in it. Not built on men, let the order stay clear. Honor in rank, but the throne stay there. Stand in the name, let the whole room answer. Children of Israel, built through the pressure. Stand in the name, let the whole camp speak. All praise, yeah, that's the power we keep. Stand in the name, let the whole earth hear it. Truth in the
chest, let the Most High steer it. Stand in the name, let the whole thing ring. Friday night class, let the whole room sing. No chrome for flesh, yeah. Yeah, I get the glory, yeah. Truth in the room. Now tell that story, hey. This for the elders that held that line. This for the young men learning in time. This for the sisters that walk with grace. This for the children that know their place. This for a nation remembering breath. This for dry bones that rise from death. This for the remnant that still stand firm. Still seeking wisdom and seeking to learn. So let the drums hit low and the whole room move. Let the words ring clear with a righteous groove. Sons of thunder, let the whole camp know the Most High reign and the truth still go. Stand in the name, let the whole room answer. Children of Israel, built through the pressure. Stand in the name, let the whole camp speak. All praise Yah, that's the power we keep. Stand in the name, let the whole earth hear it. Truth in the chest, let the Most High steer it. Stand in the name, let the whole thing ring. Friday night class, let the whole room sing. God first, truth next. Sons of thunder.